Sarah Reynolds, a native of Potton, Bedfordshire, entered the world in 1819. Her father, Philip Reynolds, worked as a local barber, while her mother, Anne Reynolds, stood by his side. Unfortunately, Sarah's idyllic childhood took a tragic turn at the tender age of 7 when her father passed away. Subsequently, her mother sought companionship with several suitors. As Sarah blossomed into a young woman, she possessed striking features, a tall stature, captivating brown eyes, and flowing auburn locks. At the age of 19, she embarked on a marital journey with Simon Meade. Initially residing in Potton, they spent 2 blissful years together before deciding to relocate to Tadlow in 1840. Shortly after settling into their new abode, the couple joyously welcomed their son Jonah into the world. However, their happiness was short-lived as Jonah's fragile life ended tragically after a mere 7 months. To Sarah's dismay, the unexpected grief compounded when Simon Meade also passed away in October of that same year. Following the untimely demise of her first spouse, Sarah wasted no time in entering into a second marriage. In 1841, she wedded William Dazley, and together they relocated to the tranquil village of Wrestlingworth. Eager to provide a nurturing environment, Sarah extended an invitation to her stepdaughter, Anne Meade, Simon Meade's daughter, urging her to join the household. However, William strongly objected to the idea, and in response he turned to the destructive solace of excessive drinking, subjecting his wife to physical abuse. In her distress, Sarah confided in a confidant named William Waldock, passionately declaring that she would resort to extreme measures against any man who dared lay a hand on her. As William Dazley's health declined, both Sarah and her stepdaughter dutifully cared for him. Dr. Sandell, the local physician, prescribed medication that exhibited signs of improvement while under the watchful eyes of Anne Meade. Unbeknownst to Anne, Sarah surreptitiously concocted her own pills for her ailing husband. Initially, Meade failed to recognize any cause for concern. However, when William adamantly refused to ingest the newly introduced pills, Anne ingested one herself to prove their harmlessness. Unbeknownst to her, Sarah had deliberately laced these pills with arsenic. Upon witnessing Anne's ingestion, Sarah reprimanded her for the reckless act. Consequently, Anne fell gravely ill and experienced symptoms akin to those of William, including severe vomiting and abdominal pain. Eventually succumbing to his wife's lethal medication, William tragically passed away on October 30th, 1842. The suspicious circumstances surrounding the deaths of Sarah's 2 husbands and her son raised significant concerns. A thorough examination of William Dazley's remains revealed the presence of arsenic, triggering suspicions against Sarah. Subsequently, an arrest warrant was issued for Dazley, prompting her to flee to the bustling city of London in a bid to evade justice. Following her discovery in London by Superintendent Blunden of Biggleswade Police, Dazley vehemently maintained her innocence and vehemently denied any involvement in the alleged crimes. She adamantly asserted her ignorance regarding poisonings, adamantly stating that she never possessed or procured any poisonous substances. Nevertheless, she was apprehended and transported back to Bedford, where she awaited her trial. The suspicious circumstances surrounding William Dazley's demise had already sparked doubts concerning the death of Jonah and Simon Meade. Consequently, their bodies were exhumed for further investigation. Traces of arsenic were indeed detected in Jonah's remains, but the advanced state of decomposition rendered Simon's body unsuitable for testing. On March 24, 1843, Sarah Dazley was committed to Bedford Jail, where she anticipated her impending trial. During her time in confinement, she dedicated herself to devising various defenses, including theories suggesting that William had poisoned himself or that he was responsible for the poisoning of Jonah and Simon. In retaliation, she claimed to have administered arsenic to William as a form of revenge for his alleged atrocities against her family. Subsequently, on July 22, 1843, Sarah Dazley stood trial for the murder of William Dazley at the Bedfordshire Court. While she was not formally charged with the murder of her son Jonah, the case remained open as a potential avenue should the initial charges against her fail. The chemist from whom she had acquired arsenic provided incriminating testimony, as did Anne Meade and neighbor Miss Carver, who recounted what they had witnessed, including the pill-making activities. William Waldock also testified against Dazley, recounting her statement regarding her willingness to kill any man who raised a hand against her, citing alleged instances of abuse from William Dazley. The Marsh test, employed to detect the presence of arsenic in William Dazley's body, served as crucial forensic evidence against Sarah Dazley. Astonishingly, it took the jury a mere 30 minutes to reach a verdict, finding Dazley guilty of the murder of her second husband. Judge Baron Alderson sentenced Sarah Dazley to death by hanging. She was executed August 5, 1843, at Bedford Jail, where she was the only woman to be publicly hanged. Thousands of people came to watch the execution, and she became known as the Potton Poisoner. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing by clicking the red subscribe button below. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to us. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.